welcome to NWD Inspire You. My name is Nigel Wayne Douglas, and I'm your spiritual coach and mentor. I use biblical principles to inspire and empower people in accomplishing their hopes and dreams in life, and most important of all, to fulfill their divine purpose. I'm glad you could have come and joined me in this broadcast. I just want to encourage you to subscribe, like, share this video with somebody. You never may know who might be standing in need of this very message that you are getting today. I'm so glad that you could come and join me. And today we are going to be having a very productive presentation, as we have all been doing throughout these previous ones. But today is the very, very important one. I'm going to be looking at 5 critical keys to success. 5 critical keys to success. And the first one is vision. Second one is strategy. The third one is improvise. And the fourth one is prayer. And the fifth one is overcome. Not necessarily in the same order that they are given, but we're looking at all 5 of them. So what are we going to be looking at today? We're going to be looking at vision, strategy, improvision, prayer, and overcoming. These are all critical for our success, irrespective of which stage we are in life. I don't care if you're at the beginner stage, you're just entering into high school, just coming out of high school, going into college, or you have graduated from college, even up to the PhD level. All 5 of these are critical for your success. Now, some of them we have been using in different ways. You might not be doing a combination. Maybe your life has already been entrenched into certain aspects that we're going to be looking at today. But I guarantee you that today's presentation will be like no other. You want to go call your friends up, maybe you want to pick up your phone and tell somebody to tune in, to get over to YouTube before they start their day, because this is a punch and a push that will get you started for your day, and you will indeed be grateful because it's gonna be super exciting. Now, you can't afford to skip out on this, because really and truly we all need these strategies, we all need these improvisations, we all need to pray, we all need vision. All of these things are relevant for us to be successful. And sometimes the reasons we're not being successful is because we are either missing one of these, some of these, or all of these. And that's the reason we are where we are. And so, we are going to begin with the first one, which has to do with vision. You need to have a vision. You have to earmark in your mind. As a matter of fact, the Lord has placed in every individual's mind a vision. Now, this vision is a dream as to what you hope to accomplish in life. It's a dream as to what you want to do to make better of yourself. That desire to become something worthwhile in life. That imagination that you find keep running and keep you awake at night, and sometimes in the day you daze off just thinking about that one thing you've been longing to accomplish. And that is your vision. You must have that. The next thing is to pray. You gotta pray about it. You know, Proverbs chapter 3 tells us this. It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So when we have our dreams and we present them before the Lord, as a matter of fact, it's God who planted that vision, that dream in your mind to begin with. Yes, he never gave it to anybody else. He gave it to you, and that's why it is called my dream and not our dream. because God placed it in your mind immaculately. And if He placed it there, then He is the best one to bring it to pass. And so, following Proverbs chapter 3 guidance, we will definitely be well on our way by first presenting our plans, our dreams, our hopes to Almighty God. And when you present it to Him, He will direct your path, tell you where to go, how to navigate the challenges of life. He will give you the power you need, the strength you need. He will open the doors to make sure that this dream comes to pass. But then, you must have a strategy. So you have a vision, you pray about it, you present it to the Lord. And now you must have a strategy, because this is what God will do for you. He's going to give you a strategy as to how you can fulfill or bring this dream, this vision He has placed in your mind, that which He has laid on your heart, that only you alone receive it. He gave it to you, and you owe it to God to bring it to pass. And because you have prayed about it, you have presented it to Him, He's going to now lead you into the next level, which is something called strategy. Now, every army, while they train and they mentally and physically, they must put together a strategy for each mission. Now, strategy comes at different levels. So you might have a strategic plan as to how you're going to train your recruits. Then after they have finished training, there comes a strategic plan for mission for them to go and execute. And then at another level, you have where top level individuals in the army are now making world-scale strategic plans as to how to combine troops and to make sure that all the mechanisms of the troops are working properly. So strategy is critical. And I love the way the military works with that, because they know that there can be no guarantee of victory if they don't have a plan and a strategy. Now, we all know the old adage that says, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. You must have a strategy. And they say if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. You must have a strategy. Strategy is critical, and I can't repeat it enough, because a lot of the problems persons have getting where they want to be, fulfilling their hopes and their dreams, getting their goals off the ground and out the way, is because they are lacking in strategy. So they start and they find themselves back to A1. They are there at one level where they thought they should have been at a higher level, But the problem is that without a clearly outlined path, you are liable of going in any direction, and you'll be knocked off your feet by many things and be caught off guard by certain things, because you do not have a clearly defined path. And your mind, which operates based on how you train it, will indeed fail you in making sure that you get where you want to go, because there is no strategic path. There is no path laid out. So strategy is very, very, very important. Many years ago, after leaving high school, I left high school, Via Technical High, with only 2 subjects. But I have a vision within my mind that I must go to college and better myself. I must get a degree. Now here I am with only 2 subjects. Where do I go from here? Because the basic requirement for matriculation into college is 5 subjects, and I only had 2. I could have sit back and say, you know what, I'm just going to hang in there. But God put it in my mind, you got to You have this dream. I've placed it in your mind, Nigel, and I want you to get down into some strategic planning. So the first thing I did, I prayed to the Lord about it. I talked to him about it. Let him know what my hopes and my dreams are. Let him know how desperate I want to accomplish what I have in my mind, what he has placed there. And then the Lord started giving me direction by way of his Spirit as to how to strategize to get this done. So I came up with this strategy. I must be able to pay for these subjects. Now, I don't have no money. So in order to do that, I must get a job. Now, to get a job, you need to get certain basic qualifications nonetheless. So I said, okay, I am going to HeartTrust NTA. I went to HeartTrust NTA, and praise be to God, it was a very successful time there. You know, the Lord blessed me. I've accomplished many things, becoming the youngest person at that time to ever become the president of a trainee council. The Lord blessed me, graduating at the top of class of thousands of people across Jamaica during that graduation in 2005. The Lord helped me through HeartTrust, and after graduating, I got myself a job. I saved up some money, and I said, well, okay, I need to get my degree on the way by 2008. So I went ahead and I saved up some money from the job I received. I worked with Tweedside Processors as a junior accountant, and I got myself some money saved up. So I decided that I'm going to now do the outstanding subjects that I need. I went to one of my church brothers and I said, you know, I am going to do 5 subjects in 5 months. He laughed at me. He said, are you crazy? 5 subjects in 5 months? What are you doing? Express CXC? He said to me, you know what, Nigel, it is better for you to do 1 and get it than to do 5 and don't get any. But there was something I knew that my brother didn't know. My church brother didn't know that my strength was not in myself. It wasn't about me and I being able to do it. But I trusted the God I serve, that he's able to take me through it. And so if God gives me a vision, and if he guides me, you know, if I trust in him with all my heart, and I do not lean unto my own understanding, then he surely will direct my path. And so I went ahead. I paid for those subjects. 3 of them I did at IAE. And those subjects, the other 2, I taught myself them at home. Human and social biology, taught myself at home. Social studies, taught myself at home. And so what I did is that even at a micro level, I still had a strategic plan within a strategic plan. Because what I did is that I organized myself. My studies will take place for a certain amount of hours. And when I get too tired of studying my secular books, I turn to the Bible. And I read the Bible and I relax. I get back onto my studies while I am going to class elsewhere to do the other 3 subjects. But then I say to myself, after I get these subjects, because I'm claiming them by God's grace, by faith. And friends, we got to walk faith, we got to talk faith. And sometimes you got to name it and claim it in Jesus' name. You don't see it as yet, but you claim it. It's not there yet, but you have it. You have to receive it in your spirit before you can receive it in your hands. And so I praise God for those subjects. And so I said, okay, now that I have done these subjects, I need to be able to pay for college. How am I going to pay for it? Somebody said to me, if you go to the National Youth Service, they will pay 32% of your tuition. I said, all right, I am going there. I went there and I trained National Youth Service under the supervision of the Jamaica Defense Force. And that was a very successful occasion for me, the Lord. And these are also evidences for you to know when God is leading in your life. You will see that he opens doors for you in certain areas you never dream of happening. And so when I went there, praise be to God, the Lord blessed me. I was the pastor on the campus. I was cabin leader, and I preached the word of God while I was there. They called me pastor. But humbly enough, I was just a servant of the Lord doing God's bidding. Because when you take care of God's business, He will take care of yours. And nothing that we do for the Master will ever go unnoticed, will never go in vain. There's a great reward awaiting us. And so when I graduated top male. And I came down, again the Lord been blessing me as I'm working out the strategic process. I am planning, I am working at it. So here I am, I came back and I got myself a job at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. When they asked me how many subjects I had, I told them 7. 5 that I did but didn't see the results for yet, and the 2 that I already have. Because like I said, you got to talk faith. Lo and behold, about 2 months later, the results came out. And guess what, friends? I got 4 subjects out of 5. I forget to have told you that it took me 5 months to do those subjects. 5 months before the exam date, I started studying for them. And the Lord blessed me with 4 subjects out of 5 that I took 5 months to do, because the Lord was with me. I trusted in Him and He saw me through. It was such a glorious occasion, because one of those I taught myself at home, I got a distinction in it. I got the other one also. The 2 I did at home, I got them. Out of the 3 I did, yes, I failed 1. But I got also a distinction over that side too. No, my friends, at any average, 4 out of 5 subjects, a very good batting. It's an excellent performance. And especially when you only had 5 months to study 5 for 5 subjects and teach. And so, yes, my friends, just looking at it from that standpoint, I got 4 out of 5 with 2 distinctions. And praise be to God, 2008, I was registered for college. So remember now, we're looking at the 5 critical keys or steps in your progress towards success for your dreams. So we have looked at the first one, which is vision. You have to have a vision. Acknowledge the vision that God has placed in your mind. Acknowledge that. You must have a vision. You must pray about it. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Because, indeed, as Proverbs chapter 3 tells us, that trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways, he says, acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Then you must strategize. You must have a strategic plan as to how you plan to execute the fulfillment of your dream, how you're going to get there. And so we look at what Proverbs Solomon says. He says in Proverbs chapter 6, verses 6 to 9, it says, "Go to the ant, ye sluggard." Look at what she does. She gathers her things in the spring and make preparation for the winter, because the ant is a very good strategist. The man of God is now saying to us that we are to pay keen attention to how it makes plans for the future, so that it does not suffer loss when the winter comes around. And so you and I must have a strategy. The number 4th stage, the 4th key aspect to success is improvisation. You must be able to improvise, because life will not always take you on a straight path. Sometimes there are some challenges you face. Difficulties will come up while you have done all your praying, you've done all your strategic plans. There are circumstances that will arise, and you can't afford to be caught off guard unprepared. You must have an open mind to improvise. And by this I mean that you got to be a quick thinker on your feet. You got to be able to think on your feet, because if you wait too long or contemplate something for too long, you might miss an opportunity. So you must be able to improvise. You will not have all the resources that you need to get ahead. And that's life. Everybody goes through it. And so you got to learn to improvise. If you meet upon a wall and you can't beat through it, climb over it. Maybe you can't beat through it, but you can walk around it. Maybe you can't walk around it, but you can go under it. But you gotta improvise, and that is what I realize that people nowadays, we are stuck into one pattern. We are in a vacuum. We operate in a box. We are not very good at thinking outside the box. You gotta learn to improvise. God give you a brilliant mind. Use it. Use it to your advantage, because God has already implanted within you a supercomputer that is able to make proper improvisation. Exercise wisdom and move forward. The next one, which is the number 5, overcome. Overcome. Can I repeat it one more time? Overcome. We must always see ourselves as victors. You might be knocked down sometimes while you're heading towards the dream. Nobody said life is going to be easy, always. No. You gotta make sure that you have the mentality that I'm gonna fight for this, even if it costs my life. You must be willing to live and die for your dream. You gotta fight for it with all your might and your power. You know, I like what Martin Luther King Jr. states. He says, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. We must have the mentality of an overcomer. It doesn't matter how tough things might seem, we must have the hope of overcoming. We must look forward to a brighter day and a brighter future. And especially when you're a child of the living God, because God will always make a way. Yes, my friends, He might be 4 days late, but He's always on time. It might not come when you want Him to, but He's always on time. We must be of an overcomer mentality if we must indeed accomplish our hopes and our dreams in life. Life gonna pitch some real hard things at you. Like one person says, if it throws you a brick, use it to make a path. It throws lemon at you, sour things. Guess what you do? Make some lemonade, cool your thirst down. And I like this one. The same sun that melts butter also hardens clay. So my friends, most of the time it's how we respond to our circumstances that determines how we fare at the end of the day. Now I'm telling you the truth. I'm a fighter. I'm straight up a soldier that will not give up on my dream. One way to stop a man like me is to kill me, literally. There ain't no other way. We must have an overcomer's mentality. It's a must. Without that, we will not succeed. You know, when I was in high school, I remember my English teacher, Mr. White, a very good man, as he relieved the pressures of his leg by resting on top of his desk. It was having a discussion which he always do with every English class with us. And he says, if you want me to do something, tell me that I can't. And that's me. I adopted that mentality from that day until today. I am always at it. One thing don't work out, I move on to something else. You need to move on to something else too. And by that I don't mean abandoning your dreams. I mean that the path you might be going on to accomplish your dream might present some obstacles. Don't give up. Keep pressing ahead. Maybe the resources you were depending on dried up. Don't give up. God will always make a way. We must be of an overcomer's mentality. We give up too often. There is no honor in quitting, friends. Absolutely none. The only thing that quitting guarantees is that you will never win. Certainly not. And I tell you something, some people quit so often and so easily, you would swear there is a reward out for quitting. Come on, people. You got to put your fists up and be ready to fight life. Put your fists up and be ready to fight life. Fight for your hope. Fight for your dreams. Don't let anybody kill that. So today, my friends, these keys to success, 5 keys to success. The first one is having a vision. You must have a vision. And guess what? You don't have to hunt for one. God has already made one available in your mind. The next thing that you must do is present it to God. Pray about it. Talk to God about it. Then the third one, you must have a strategy. Put together a plan as to how you hope to accomplish these dreams that you have in your mind. Write it down. Draft out the plan and work towards it. The next thing is improvisation. You must be willing, flexible, to be able to improvise. Utilize that brain that God has given you. That powerful supercomputer that's right there. Utilize it. God give you wisdom. Use it to strategize, but even to improvise. Look at new ways of approaching something that seems to be too much for you to overcome. Work out a new way. The next and final stage is to overcome. You must have an overcomer's mentality. You got to be always looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. You got to be positive about it. You got to be hungry for it, that you will fight for it and you will die for it. And that mentality, I guarantee you, try it if you haven't started yet. You will see results that surprise you, silence your enemies, and put you on your path, fulfilling the dream that God has laid in your mind. This has been NWD Inspire You. And I'm your host, Nigel Douglas. Please subscribe. Remember to like, click the bell so you can be alerted when a new video is uploaded. Thank you so much for joining me, and do have yourself a blessed day.